Hi there and welcome to the channel. I'm Slate and today I am going to showcase my two teams that I used to beat AMR stage 21 and 22. Now these are not free to play friendly comps, but I want to take the time to go over the mechanics, the placements, so that you can sub in the heroes that you have in your roster to hopefully help you beat these stages. So without further ado, let's get started. So this is the team that I used to beat stage 21. What you can see is that we are predominantly using Nightmare and Northern, and that is because we need a lot of fighters for this fight and different things like that. Now for the Nightmare team, Arrogance is absolutely incredible with his AoE damage. Volker is in there to also help the healings. A-Bomb and Gluttony are our sort of like tanks, so to speak, that will also do damage and hold down a lane themselves. And then for the Northerners, what we are doing is bringing in that long range fighter with Valkyra, as well as Estrid, who does that AoE damage and applies a debuff as well. Estrid is absolutely fantastic, and so she's very helpful in this fight. Oleg and Isolde for tanks, and then finally we need a healer, and Hollow is just absolutely fantastic at doing rage regen as well as heals. Starting off the fight, we are going to place down Arrogance. He is our primary DPS, followed by Hollow, who is going to place Invigoration on him. Next is going to be Estrid, followed by Valkyra behind. Now what you want to do is make sure that they are within that healing range, and this is why they are pushed back, which is great. Now Estrid is in a Lunacy Visor, and this is because we do actually need her to be able to tank a few hits. But yeah, we are then going to place down Isolde, ult with Estrid, ult with Hollow, so that everyone can start healing and getting some rage. We're then going to place Gluttony facing up here, and we are going to then do Abomination up there as well. Now, one thing I will say is that the Unholy Requiem, where this boss does it and it'll explode these ants, don't worry, Isolde's going to die. That is the plan. So she goes down. Well, she didn't go down, but if she goes down, it's fine. You would then sub in with Oleg and everything like that. Now, next to be placed on the board is going to be Volker. She is also going to help with everyone's healing, as well as AoE damage for these minions that are coming out the top. Now we are going to do that entire bottom sequence again, and that is with Valkyra, Hollow, Isolde and Estrid. Lots of lovely AoE damage. Do ult with Volker. How many times have I been going to say ult in this fight? Yeah, and clear the board. So I think this time we may lose Isolde. Like I said, it's absolutely fine if we do. But Abomination holds that top lane really well, and Gluttony holds the left lane good too. So let's see if she now dies. Yep, which is absolutely fine. Not a problem. Because we now place down Oleg. Ult with Hollow. Ult with Valkyra and Estrid as well, and let the DPS run. Again with Volker, we're not going to ult with Oleg because we want him to just be doing his little shield thingy, which is really very, very helpful. But yeah, Unholy Requiem is going to happen again. Oleg is going to die. Potentially. He didn't die. Oh, that's handy. But we do need to pick him up and place down Isolde, because the boss is now going to go in front, and we need the damage, but not for the damage to go onto Estrid, because we want to take the boss down now as quickly as possible, which we have just done. But if you couldn't take it down, hopefully you have that 30 seconds so that you could then sub Oleg for Isolde, etc, for however much you need to do. But anyway, that is the team to beat that I used to beat stage 21. Let's have a quick look at the gear for this team, starting off with Wrath. He's not even built. To be honest, you could put him in a tanky build and use him as another like tank rotation if you really needed. That is an idea. Obviously, if you have Torador, much better thing, because he's already a tank and it's going to be better. Now for Volker, she is in a Soulbound Arcana, attack focused. Her artifact is a Frigid Flame. This is just because I don't have multiple Eye of Sin, and I put Eye of Sin on Valkyra because I put Realm Tear on Arrogance. Now if you had 2 Realm Tear, then definitely put them on both those heroes. You could also use Arrogance's exclusive, but unless it's like over 19, it just doesn't cut it as well as Realm Tear at 25 basically. So speaking of Arrogance, he is in an attack focused Soulbound Arcana, like I said, with that Realm Tear artifact. Abomination is in his exclusive to get that going, and attack based Infernal Roar with HP substats. Gluttony is same as he's in Unshaken Will. This is the same build that he has for both stages, and his artifact is a Key of Forsaken, although he could do better in a Lunacy Visor, to be completely honest, if you're struggling with the block count. Now for Isolde, she is in a standard Guardian tank focused on HP and defense with a Bastion ring. Next is going to be Valkyra in Infernal Roar. That is the best damage set for her. And then her artifact, like I said, she's in Eye of Sin. If you could get her in Realm Tear, that would be a much better option if you have multiple of them. For Olag, again, he is in a Tempered Will. You could put him in Guardian. You just want him as tanky as possible. And he is also in a Bastion ring. Now Estrid is really fantastic. Like I said, she is going to be in a Lunacy Visor just for that little bit of tankiness, because she is going to be holding that bottom lane. Now for her build, what I would say is you're still focusing on attack bonus, but you will see that she has a little bit of HP as well, bringing it up to that 36,000 mark. But the main thing is we do want her fast, and we do want her attack high. And the main thing with her is you do want her to be at least Awakened 1, so that she does get that extra attack range. And then finally we have Hollow, who is in an Invigoration attack bonus based focus with attack bonus and attack speed. And this is not a GB build because, like I said, we want to have her doing bigger heals to keep everyone alive. She will get enough rage out on the board, but if the heals aren't big enough, then she can't do her job as a healer as well as a rage regener. So yeah, that is the build for those heroes. This is going to be the run for stage 22. As you can see, it is not a free-to-play friendly team. This is endgame content, and hopefully you will have some of these heroes. You can also sub in other heroes that you have yourself. What I want to do is really focus on the mechanics and the placements and the order, and hopefully that is going to help you when you are trying to clear this content yourself. Starting off, we are going to place Boreas, our main AoE mage, followed by Hollow to place Invigoration on him. Next, we are going to place Reeve. He is our tank, but he also has this amazing crowd control that he does, which really helps, followed by Cyrus, our second tank. Now, the reason I face him left is then he has that little skeleton, and it also means more damage is going to the things. Now, Gluttony is going next, and then finally we will place Bjorna. Gluttony is kind of a little star of the show, to be honest, and that is because he does these huge smacks, like absolutely huge smacks when he ults, and he can very easily take out this nasty top side minion. So yeah, when the Unholy Requiem comes out, this is when you want to ult with Fiona to make sure you clear the board before the boss can explode those enemies that are left on the board, because then you die, basically you die. So yeah, like I said, Gluttony, one smack and everything goes down, which is great. Now, moving to this top corner, what we're going to do is place down Anora with Elowen. You could use any other healer here. The reason that I brought in Elowen is for the extra rage. Basically, simple as that. Now, again, we're going to ult with Boreas. And we are also going to ult with Reeve. And keep an eye out for the minion that is Cyrus's, because when it dies, we will then replace it. But we're not going to be ulting with Vienna again until we get that Requiem type of thing going. Now, that top corner, minions have started to come out, so we will ult with Anora. And yeah, Unholy Requiem, ult with Vienna to clear the board. And now we're gonna die. Gluttony needs to go in Lunacy Visor. Definitely. Oh no, he doesn't. He did it. That's because of Boreas. That is because of Boreas. I'm telling you that right now. That is because of the Boreas ult. So if you are struggling there, make sure you could swap him into Lunacy Visor. At the moment, I have him in a key. And anyway, we're going to repeat basically Boreas and Reeve. Hollow for the Rage regen. And then Vienna to clear the board before the boss can explode them. Yeah. That's basically the way it works for this. We do love Boreas, basically. Unholy Requiem, ult with Vienna. Yeah. Ult with Anora. And now the boss is going to be coming forward. Let's ult with Cyrus so that he has that little bit of unkillable going. You could bring in a different tank. Like I said, the Razak slot really is just for a flex position effectively. You know, so you could bring in like a Raiden or a Venoma and then a different tank for down here. But yeah, everything is holding to its own, and we are going to comfortably now take down the boss. So yeah. Hopefully. Yeah. So yeah, that is my AMR 22 team. I hope it helps, basically. Yeah, Gluttony, I think, should be in a Lunacy Visor. I will quickly show you the builds. So starting off with Cyrus, he is in your classic Guardian gear. Boreas is in an attack-focused Soulbound Arcana build with a Tear of Twilight. Elowen is in her standard. She wasn't even at an artifact. Probably Euphoric Orb. She's not really doing much. She's on the board just to increase everyone else's rage, so actually it doesn't really matter too much. Anora is in, again, an attack-based Infernal Roar. If you had more Soulbound Arcana, you could put her into that as well. Just get lots of lovely attack and damage onto her. Gluttony is interesting. He is in Unshaken Will because it's got that HP bonus. Now remember, he does very well with HP, and you want him to sort of like crit and boost, and rage is kind of important. So funnily enough, you could do better with him with a rage build type focus. And then, as I said, for artifact, I have him in the key, but a Lunacy Visor could also be a nice choice. The other option for this slot is Abomination. He is very good as long as you can make sure that he is perma-ulting by the time that those really gnarly people come in. So you do need to get him go on the board very quickly, which is why Cyrus being 25 is very expensive. So like I said, you could take out Razak, bring in a cheaper tank, and then you will be able to get Abomination onto the board a bit earlier. So that is something that you could try yourself. Demi is not geared. Oh, she is geared, but she's just she's just there for the Lord bonus. Vienna is in a curse set. Don't ask me why, but Vienna just seems to do so well in curse compared to other sets, so I basically keep her in it. She doesn't benefit from attack speed. She does benefit from rage and crit, so yeah, just lots of attack on her, and she is in her own exclusive. You could also use a Tear of Twilight. Now for Reeve, he's again in a standard tank build focused on HP. He has his own exclusive artifact as well. Hollow is interesting. Now, Hollow is usually, when we build her for Guild Boss, she has very low attack because you want her to be making them make those heals and that rage as much as possible. But in content like this, where you actually kind of need some heals, she's actually going to be in attack. So she is in 2 attack bonus pieces with an attack speed to make sure that she is sitting at 15,000, 16,000 attack. Still try and keep that speed as much as possible, 1.4 seconds, and then some rage is okay. But the main thing is you do need those heals on her to do a big enough heal so that people can stay alive. And then finally, like I said, bring in Razak. That is just for the bonus, the bond skill that he has with Captain Reeve. You increase XP and gold. So yeah, that is the team for AMR stage 22. I hope that helps. Just one thing to add in before we wrap things up. When it comes to deciding whether you want to focus more on stage 21 or stage 22, what I would say is actually the exclusive artifacts that you can get from the Wisdom Forge are going to really progress your account more, I think. And this is because this is where you can pick up the Sutra of Caprice for Hex, which does an insane amount of damage for him. You can also pick up even the Theowin artifact, is fantastic for GVG. We're looking also at Silas's exclusive artifact. We're looking at Cetrum's exclusive artifact, Nyx's exclusive artifact. The bonuses that you get from these platform exclusives are absolutely nuts. So I would say if you are sort of like, which one do I focus on more? Until you get particularly those top exclusives, this is where I would focus your time and energy, basically. But yeah, maybe not. Maybe you decide, actually, I want to focus on the ground unit ones. I mean, there are some very good ground unit ones here as well. For example, Constance's artifact is very nice. Arrogance, also going to be looking at that one for A-Bomb to get his rage going. You're also looking at Brokir's exclusive is nice, although to be honest, Bastion Ring is still gonna be the best in most content. Lust's very good if you are running a Nightmare team. So yeah, I'm definitely not saying that the ground unit exclusives are not worth getting. They absolutely are worth getting. But to be completely honest, if I have a chance to get a max, focus on trying to get a max level Nyx artifact, a Cetrum artifact, a Hex artifact, and a Silas artifact, that is where I'm going to be spending my energy. And this is the thing, it's still such a small chance at 2% that you are still going to be getting a lot of those lovely mythic artifacts. And again, this being platform unit, your Tear of Twilight is huge. Obviously, Wailing Skull is fantastic, but Golden Scarab, Spirit Siphon, they are all very, very handy. And between the exclusive Forge items and your mythic Forge items, hopefully you will have some Wailing Skulls and Bastion Rings and different things like that. Quick interjection from editing Slate here. I just wanted to add that basically until you have a collection of Tear of Twilights, Wailing Skulls, etc., and I really do think that your energy is best spent improving your gear or even the Mythic Forge, and use the Gleaming Retrites from Nightmare Void Rift to start your exclusive collection. These two forges and these stages are really for that late game account that is looking to invest in exclusives specifically, but most of the time you're actually going to be better off with a Tear of Twilight, a Bastion Ring, a Wailing Skull, etc. on most heroes. So definitely make sure you have those as a priority. So that is going to wrap things up for today's video, showcasing the two teams that I used to beat stage 21 and stage 22. I do hope this helps and that you are able to understand the mechanics and then sub in the heroes that you have in your roster for the placements that I've shown on the board. Do let me know in the comments below who your like star hero was. I have to say, for me, I have to give props to Gluttony. He's just really surprised me in so much content, what he is able to do. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. A huge thank you to my members for making this video possible. This footage was taken on my behind the slate live stream, so yeah, big thank you to all of them, and a huge thank you to all of you as well. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video and the next live stream. So until then, take care and bye for now. I think I broke.